Hi! Listen, I know I don't have anything to say to apologize for being away for like a year, but life happens. Does that count? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'll start by saying thank you if you waited and you've been sort of hanging in, checking every other time if there's a notification and thinking you might have missed it. It's been me. Honestly, I apologize. I had to just go. I had to take a breather, and that's why I'm starting with a life update. But if you're new here, I'm Flavia, and well, what can I say? So for the last 20 years, I've done everything from TV, radio, communications, and then the last 5 years, I became a mom and a wife, and life sort of did this one upside down. And which is why my content has been a bit, inconsistent, because I had to apply myself intentionally. Here. So I wanted to just sort of recap, even if you're new here or you've been here, you're no G, just what has been happening in the last year or even 2 years. That way, when we start our convos, we're up to date. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just scratch that I was even here a year ago and just say I became a mom of twins. They're now a year and a couple of months. They give me a run for my energy. You say, stop it, mommy. So it explains why the weight has gone off. And of course, Liam, who everybody knows here, is now 4. Then, of course, I quit my job. And I have to premise that because I didn't really have a 9 to 5. My radio show was 10 to 3, and then my TV gig would be from like 6 to like 10. So technically, I just had hours of work. But the reason I changed, which is the first update we're starting with, is motherhood. But it kind of hits you when you have kids, and then you're like, maybe I want to produce the best people out there in the world. Maybe I want to have my child become somebody in society, and that takes time. That takes a lot of imparting in them knowledge and time and emotional support. And I knew at some point I'm going to have to give up the running around for my work to be a mom. And I fought it for like 2.5 years until I said, fine, we'll do it. It just happened to coincide with my pregnancy, so I quit, and I only stayed with 1 day a week. So I do the Desert Island Disc on Capital FM, which is really just once a week. So it doesn't take away as much time. So where I'm at in the scale of motherhood now is that I keep telling people I'm a full-time mom, but not as if. The question is, when does my family need me? Do my children need me? Were they scheduled in my calendar first? It's a non-negotiable. So I think that's the only thing that changed. Whilst my career had taken a lot of the space, now I'm more mindful to say the calendar has my children on these 20 days. The last 10 days, you can have them. So that's why I think I can confidently say I am a full-time mom. Because I've intentionally decided to raise the 3 boys until they're at a point where they can say, Mom, you're in my space, get out. So yes, that's about motherhood. The next update I have for you is the career change. So yes, I've said that I've left the mainstream working and running around, but I sat down and said, Flavia, be honest with yourself, and it's important to be honest with yourself. Don't tell yourself, I can be home, I can do this, and that's it. I never have to work a day in my life, when you're not that kind of person. I knew that I was a go-getter. I was very ambitious. I was very bold, and I said, listen, that will probably, I have sons. They need to know that women are powerful. Yeah? So I need to be their first example, and stifling my dreams or sitting on them was not going to be it. So I sat down with my partner and I said, listen, so I'm obviously giving the biggest chunk of my life and time to the kids and to the family. What can I do to also advance the itch? There's that itch that tells you to go and try, to go and pull your potential. And so I decided to change my industry. I've been in media for so long, 21 years, and there wasn't anything else to do. There's not a TV show you're going to do to become the next what. Radio, I had done it, as in you're not going to speak on radio in a different accent, as in release yourself. So there wasn't any ceiling to hit, and I wasn't going to be a manager of a radio station or build a TV from scratch. I have no passion or interest there. And so the next opportunity was for tech, because with tech and innovation, I could still apply the skills that I have from where I'm coming from and apply them to tech. Except that for me, being an ambitious girl, I decided to go all the way and be a full-time developer and like code. So I would literally have the kids' schedules, and then maybe at around 8 they go to bed for their first sleep, because the twins don't sleep, guys. They nap. Okay? And when you've said, let me open the laptop, and you're like, what? But it's a gift from God. So anyway, I would code through the night because I was studying. Then in the morning, maybe do about 4 hours sleep and then repeat the cycle until I graduated. The thing is, I'm happy. I'm happy it happened. Would I repeat it in that way? No thanks. It was so much. And I think later on, maybe in a few weeks, I'll share with you, just pinning on career. So I tell you how that transition happened and, how I picked which side of tech to go into. But that for me was a necessary career change. I did not want to be, I'm a tech consultant just for vibes. Yeah. I actually needed to know the content. I needed to know what exactly I was speaking about. So being a back-end developer and a front-end developer was very important for me. So mess with me, I'll hack you. I'm kidding. So that was the career change, the motherhood. The other update I have for you is the fact that I'm here. I gave myself excuses. I don't have a team to shoot with. I don't have the money to shoot. Then when all that was done, okay, I don't have clothes to wear to shoot. I don't have the English. What am I supposed to say? I gave myself all the excuses at every point until I said, Flavia, you owe it to yourself. Before you owe it to the audience that subscribes, you owe it to yourself to prove the stuff you preach, that you can actually do it. So I'm not going to come here and be a liar and start promising all sorts of things. I'll be here every week for content, but I'm going to try my best because you and I are learning how to thrive, and you and I have to learn through being intentional. And so I will do my best to be here and give you all the content that you need, especially in the transitions of life that I've been in. What have I learned along the way? What mistakes have I made that you don't have to make? What other networks, the connections that I've had that you could be of value for you, and so much more. So I'm excited to be back. I can't wait to read the comments. What's on your mind? What's been happening? As much as I give you a life update, I want to know about you. What you been up to? What's been going on in your life? Anyway, I'm going to say bye. Catch you next week.